visible?
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am.
Okay. So yesterday we stopped at this part, I think, strategies for maintaining competitive advantage. That is analyzer and defender. Where we move ahead with the strategies for maintaining current market share. Now here basically when the product enters into the growth phase, okay, we can say it's into its boom phase, where it captures the maximum market share as well as the profit starts coming in, profit starts pouring in. Here, the companies think of coming up with different flanker products. New features are introduced. Maybe the company is introduced with a new technology. Okay, after that, when the market reaches a critical point where there is less possibility of expanding the market beyond that certain saturation point, we say the market has entered into the mature stage. Maybe there is stagnancy as far as the profits are considered, as well as the customer base is considered. Okay, at that critical point, the product enters into the mature markets. Now, here there are two concepts. One thing is company's own product entering into the mature phase, and from the industry perspective, you see that also enters into mature market stage. Now here one thing is the technology which drives this factor or influences this factor. Now coming to the strategies for maintaining current market share. Now here it's the critical thing here is the to maintain and protect the existing market share. Now for any company which has entered into the mature stage, for the challenging part is to protect themselves. At least whatever they have, that much they should be able to maintain the market share. Many of the companies take into consideration the promotional parts, the advertising. They think of opening new avenues to reach to the masses. Those customers who are loyal, okay, the companies think of maintaining good relations with them by giving them some loyalty promotional aspects, like maybe membership, giving some discounts on the bulk purchases, etc. So here for the mature markets, the strategies for the extending growth. Now here, if a manufacturer thinks of extension, if he wants to extend at this level of the maturity stage, then the options are increased penetration, extended use, and market expansion. Now here the basic objective for the increased penetration. Now how do you achieve this? If we take this first strategy, that is increased penetration. Now here the primary objective for this is to convert non-users to users. That is those customers who are currently not using our offering or product or item, how they can be converted into the customers, our users. That is what is the prime motive of any organization. Now here, basically, here the scope for relative low penetration in one or more segments is not that high in this maturity stage. So the company thinks of enhancing the product's value by adding more features, by adding more benefits to the existing product. Some additional value, the company first takes into consideration to add some features or values so that whether there is a possibility of converting these non-users to users. Again, enhances the product value. Enhances the product value, maybe if we consider some service part, whether some services can be included in this offering to enhance the value of the product or the offering, maybe in terms of designs, maybe in terms of promotional efforts or modifying the distribution channels. Now here, promotional efforts, if we take into consideration, maybe whatever are the changes made or the benefits considered or the features, additional features, they should reach to the masses, and through advertising, through the selective media, the company thinks of targeting these customers, the non-users specifically. They are targeted here. Similarly, the distribution channels, the existing distribution channels are modified with a new perspective to reach this untapped segment. So, through increased penetration, the company thinks of reaching the customers. When we take into consideration the extended use, now here the objective is to make the customers increase the frequency of the current users. So more storage of the product closer to the point of end use by offering additional packet sizes or designs, encourage larger volumes. Now they can give them discounts for non-perishable items. They can give some discounts on a large pack sizes, bigger pack sizes. Through advertising, the manufacturers remind the customer about the additional features of the benefits to the customers. So here one can take into consideration the examples of juices, fruit juices manufacturer. Initially, maybe their focus was on just on the consumption at the time, maybe during the daytime or morning time. Okay, instead of tea or coffee, shift to juices. But slowly and steadily, they thought of introducing it into the parties and during the evening also. Similarly, if you take the health snacks, okay, first and foremost, they were like we say cornflakes and all, they were promoted as a healthy breakfast, but slowly and steadily, even they thought of it as a snacks item also. Maybe if anybody is very much conscious about the health, so instead of having something heavy, they can just have these healthy breakfast snacks, cereals. They were shifted to the even the evening snacks time. So here, how you increase frequency, or you might have seen the advertisement of some of the shampoos and all, that is to get more results. Maybe you use it twice, thrice a month or a week, like that. So this helps in influencing the customers to increase the use of these offerings. Similarly, company thinks of developing line extensions. That is more additional something ingredient goes into the product, so that its additional use or emphasis can be done. Like maybe if you see it's a rainy season and you want to add something like ginger or tulsi in a tea, with that they are promoting the product. So that untapped market is tapped by positioning such type of products. Similarly, next strategy is the more usage, that is the increased frequency. Now here again the company can think of having more line extensions. They can develop and promote new uses through the sales promotion. You can think of having more than one use. Like Vicks Vapor, you see, it has been successful in emphasizing more than one use. So here, even the product, single product, having more uses is emphasized through the promotions. And the best means is advertisements. Differentiation positioning can also be thought of to tap this segment. That is, maybe some differentiation should be made in the parent product and offered in the segment, offered to that particular segment where it can tap the non-users. Here the company can think of having their own private labels also. Their own private labels, they can cater to those segments by undertaking this strategy. Also, they can enter the new segments with the unique strategy. They can expand the geographical area, and also some of the firms, when they feel that this market is saturated, they can enter the global market. That is the global entry. Most of the firms, they can think of global entry also. Now, this was with reference to the strategies for the mature markets. Now, the next is strategies for declining markets. Now, here, if we consider the relative attractiveness of this declining markets, it is with reference to certain factors like conditions of demand, exit barriers, intensity of future competitive rivalry, divestment or liquidation. Now here, if we consider the conditions of demand in a product market, it declines for a number of reasons. Maybe because of there are technologically advanced new products which are introduced in the market, which leads to the shrinkage of demand. Similarly, customers' need, their taste, preference, they change with the time. Now here, the cause of a decline in demand can affect both the rate and predictability of that decline. The fall in the demand may be due to demographic shift. That is the demographic constitution. Basically, it changes, and that's why we find that there is a decline in the demand for certain product category. Now, not all segments of a market decline at the same time at the same rate. So here, this is continuously being observed by the manufacturers. The second is the exit barriers. Now here, when weaker competitors find it hard to leave a product market as demand falls, excess capacity develops and firm engages in aggressive promotion or aggressive pricing efforts. Now here, one critical consideration involves the amount of highly specialized assets. Now the assets are unique to the organization. It is very difficult for any organization to divest these assets, because the other firms would also use them for the same purpose, which is unlikely in a declining industry. Thus, the firm may have a little choice but to remain in the business or to sell the assets for their scrap value. So here what the company thinks, it's better we continue for some time instead of just having the scrap value, better to continue with whatever is the segment available. Now, another major exit barrier occurs when the assets or resources of the declining businesses intervene with the firm's other business units. Many a times, a single business unit uses more or less the assets everywhere. So these facilities are shared and the programs are integrated most of the times. So one cannot think of shutting it down directly. So again, that is a problem here. Intensity of future competitive rivalry. Now, even when substantial pockets of continuing demand remains within a declining business, it may not be wise for the firm to pursue them in the face of intense future competition. Now, here the other factors also affect the ability of the remaining firms to avoid intense price competition and maintain reasonable margins here. The divestment or the liquidation, when the market environment in a declining industry is totally unattractive, or a business has a relatively weak competitive position, then the firm may recover more of its investment by selling the business in the early stages of decline rather than latter. Now, apart from this, there are other options also which the companies can think of these strategies. Now, these are harvesting, maintenance, profitable, survivor, and the niche strategies. Now, if we consider the harvesting strategy, it is also known as the milking strategy. Here, the objective is to generate the cash quickly by maximizing cash flow over a very short frame of time. Now, this involves additional investment in business, greatly reducing operating expenses, including the marketing expenses here. Now, here the basic trick is to hold the business volume and share, which declines to a relatively slow and steady rate. Harvesting strategies, it is most appropriate for a firm holding a relatively strong competitive position in the market. When it comes to know that it's moving towards the decline, it can think of just coming up with certain offers. It enters into the market and very quickly grabs the market share. So here this option proves to be fruitful. Now the second is the maintenance. In markets where future volumes trends are highly uncertain, where one cannot predict, a business with a leading share position might consider this strategy aimed at maximizing its market share, at least until the market's future becomes secure or more predictable in this case. Now the next strategy is profitable survivor. An aggressive alternative for the business with strong share position and sustainable competitive advantage in this stage is to establish market share position and establish itself as an industry leader for reminder of the market's decline. Now this kind of strategy makes sense when the firm expects a gradual decline in market demand or when substantial pockets of continuing demand are likely well in the future, then only this strategy is possible. The niche strategy, now here one can think of having a very narrow segment. This strategy just caters to the few pockets of demand. When the company finds that the market is declining, it can think of just few customers in this segment, niche segment, specialized customers, and they can concentrate on them and just retain the existing market share. Now moving ahead, apart from this, organization specific strategies are also based. Now here the firms are classified on the basis of the roles which these firms attend in the market. Now these are basically based upon market share. The position in the market is with reference to brand equity. Also, it reflects the brand equity, it reflects the market share, it reflects the goodwill of the company, etc. So here the firms are classified according on the basis of their roles as leaders, challengers, followers, and makers. If we consider the first one, the market leader strategies. Now here the firms who have the largest market share, they are considered as that firm is considered as a market leader. Now first here the firm must expand the total market demand. That is the first strategy. And the next strategy, it must protect its current market share through good defensive and offensive strategies. Firm can try to increase its market share even if market size remains constant. If we consider the first strategy, that is the expanding the total market. where the company can think of including more users, more uses of the product, more frequency or the usage of the product. Just now, uh, I spoke about this. That is here, the leader is the enjoys the dominant position. It has all the required resources. It is financially strong since it enjoys the leadership position. Here, these leaders have to continuously attract new set of buyers. So when we say they attracting the new set of buyers relates to offerings, new offerings, or introducing new flanker options with different flavors, different features, offering different benefits as per the requirement of the customers. Here the company can think of having the market penetration strategy, going in for the market penetration strategy, new market segment strategy. The company can enter into new segments from the existing ones, or think of geographical expansion strategy. Now here, new uses, think about the new uses of the offering. Now, like Vaseline, petroleum jelly, it started as a lubricant in the machine shops. Over the year now, if we see, it's used as a skin ointment, a healing agent also. So here the company has to think about new uses of the offering. More uses, just now I had given you an example of shampoos or the cereals or fruit juices. Now coming to the next point, that is the defending market share, how the company can think of defending the market share. Now being into the leader position is not easy, it's very challenging for the companies because every now and then it has to fight against the followers, those who would be, there is a possibility if not defended the market share would become the future leaders. So here the company has to keep these competitors away from them, and continuous innovation is one of the strategy which the companies, these leaders can think of. Every now and then they should have new products, they should offer new bundle of offerings to the customers, then only they can attract the customers. They could meet the requirements of the customers. Now, where any manufacturer, when it enters into the introduction stage, it starts with the parent product or a parent offering, and slowly and steadily, when it enters into the growth stage, the new flanker product starts coming out. Now, here, when the company feels that the product has reached the stagnancy, the company thinks of having this variations or different features, or using this differentiation strategies, imbibing these strategies into the parent product. So these leaders have to invest more in their R&D department. Every now and then the technical innovations are taking place. With reference to even distribution channels, they think of having more options, how to reach to the end customers. Continuous promotional efforts are considered. Now, this is possible only when the company is financially much more strong, and mostly leaders, they enjoy the market share as well as the profitability here. Now, if we consider the strategies here, the 6 strategies are considered for the market leaders. The first is the position defense. Now, the basic defense is to build a wall around one's territory, we can say. Now, if we consider the Coca-Cola today, in spite of selling nearly half of the soft drinks of the world, has acquired fruit drink companies and diversified into many other businesses also. Although defense is important, leaders under attack would be foolish to put all the resources into a single product. Now, here they need to think about the product portfolio mechanism to safeguard themselves, to defend themselves from the competitors. They need to safeguard the parent company or the parent product. Now, this is more applicable to the corporates or those companies which are into more than single product lines. The next is the flank defense. Now, here the market leader also erects outposts to protect the weak front. Now, when we say if we see the product portfolios of the companies, all of the products are not performing well at the same times. They have different market shares. They are into different market segments. So each and unique product caters to the different segment. They have their own features, benefits. So here this flank defense is used to safeguard the weak front for the organization. The next is the preemptive defense. Now here a more aggressive strategy is used to attack the followers. Now here when the company comes to know that the competitor, there is a possibility that in future the competitor will come up with a certain idea to attack the leader. So before they attacking us, it's better that we aggressively market our product and safeguard the leadership position. That is what is the main objective of this preemptive defense. Now, if we consider the counter offensive defense, now most market leaders actually when attacked, then they respond with the counter attack. So here many a times these companies, they are prepared for the counter offensive defense strategy. If you see Pepsi and Coke use this strategy. Now here a leader cannot remain passive in the face of competitors' price cut or promotional offer or product improvement or a sales territory invasion. So any of the strategies if the competitor use, a leader cannot afford to stay calm. A leader has to react. They have to come up with the counter attack strategy to safeguard their market share. Otherwise, these followers will grab the share of the leaders. A leader can meet the attacker frontally or hit his flank or launch a price cut. So here, wherever the leader feels that the competitor has entered, maybe with the new product, maybe with the new segment, here the leader should be ready with the counter offensive strategy to answer the competitors. Then only he will survive as a leader. Now here an effective strategy would be to invade the attacker's main territory so that it will have to pull back. So even that is enough at that particular point of time. Now another common form of counter defense is the exercise of economic or attack as far as the price factor is considered. A leader can think of offering the product at a bit lower price or undertaking promotional activities. For the leader at his position, it's not difficult to come up with such type of strategies like giving discounts or price cuts. That is affordable for the leader, but for the follower, this strategy, they cannot follow or copy this strategy as they are not in the leadership position. They are not enjoying the leadership position in the market. Now coming to the next part, that is a mobile defense. So here a leader stretches its domain over new territories. It expands into different areas geographically as future centers for defense and offense. So here they start increasing or expanding the markets. Market broadening, it involves the company shifting its focus from the current product to underlying generic need. So here the company can think of coming up with certain generic form of products which will satisfy the needs of the most of the customers when it thinks of offering it. Market diversification also is unrelated. Market diversification also intends to include more of the products. They can come up with the new products or they can enter into new product lines. Now here the company can think of the contraction defense also. The market leaders can improve their profitability by increasing their market share also. Now here I was speaking about the contraction defense. Now large companies sometimes recognize they can no longer defend all of their territory. So best thing is that uh, they appear to be planned contraction. That is a strategic withdrawal from those places where they find that the competitor is much more stronger. They just withdraw and try to invest their efforts into other areas where they find that they would get more profits. Improved profitability. Now here the objective, basic objective for expanding the markets is to improve profitability by increasing. Now here this challenger always thinks of attacking the leaders as well as the other competitors. Many of the challengers have been successful in grabbing the market share of the leaders. Some of the companies, they would like to be in a position of a follower and try to defend their market share. So one thing is the company can think of attacking the leaders and trying to grab their market share, and other option is just be a follower and try to defend themselves from the other competitors from becoming the followers. So here the strategy would be like, if we consider the general attack strategy, one can think of having the frontal attack strategy. Now here you would see that the previous strategies and these are somewhere, both of them, they overlap. The previous strategies we had seen from the PLC point of view, product life cycle point of view, and now this is with reference to the role of the manufacturers. Now here if we consider the frontal attack where the companies, these are visible by the competitor. In frontal attack, the company can think of cutting down directly the price of the offering by catering to a particular segment. Here. It can think of having new introductions of the products where the strategies are visible to the competitor. That's why it's known as the frontal strategy. Here again, one can think of having two dimensions for this. First one is the geographical and second is the segmentation. That is, the company can think of having more geographical areas. They can think of expanding the markets on the basis of regions, or they can enter into new segments, different segment. Now, if we consider the encirclement, it is more offensive on several fronts. Here, basically, the requirement for this strategy is that the firm should be more strong as far as the financial resources are considered. It involves launching a grand offensive on several fronts. Now, the next is the bypass strategy. Here, the company thinks of bypassing enemy and attacking easier markets by just diversifying into unrelated products or new geographical areas. Now, here the company thinks of moving ahead into unrelated product categories. If you feel that beyond certain limit, the company cannot think of increasing the market share, then in that case, the company thinks of diversifying. So today, if you see all the corporate giants like Reliance or Wipro, they are into unrelated product categories. They have diversified their businesses. Also, new geographical areas. Introducing in the new geographical areas is also a strategy adopted by most of the manufacturing organizations, most of the companies. Again, adoption of the new technology, that is coming up with the new technology, is one of the important strategy here, where directly they bypass the enemy and enter into new frame or new segment, new territory. Now, if we consider the guerrilla warfare, it consists of the wagging small intermittent attacks. Now, here a company can think of coming up with a promotional offer, maybe for a short frame of time. If the company comes up with the price cuts, then it hampers the leaders as well as the other competitors. They cannot match such type of strategies. Here, the company can think of using conventional and unconventional means, like pushing the dealers or distributors, motivating them to get the shelf space, selective price cuts in particular segments where there is intense competition, or wherever they find there is intense competition, they can think of aggressive promotion, using the aggressive promotion tools, like carrying out heavy advertisements, spending on the sales force, increasing the visit of the sales force through these intermediaries. Now, the company as a challenger can think of having a specific attack strategy also here, like the price discounts. The challenger can offer a comparable product at a lower price. It can give discounts to the retailers, the dealers. Now, here the challenger must convince buyers that its products or services are at par with the leaders. The quality should not be a question from the customer side. Again, the buyers must be price sensitive. If they are price sensitive, then only they are going to shift from the leaders. Third is the market leader must refuse to cut its price in spite of the competitor's attack. If the leader comes up with the counter attack strategy, then again it becomes a problem for these followers. Offering the goods at average quality or low quality, again this strategy can be adapted. But here again, it depends upon the company's position. It should not hamper the goodwill or the image of the brand. So company thinks of such a offering where they introduce the product with a different brand name so that the parent brand is not influenced or affected. Many times, against this, the company launches the prestige goods at a higher price just to beat the leader. The product proliferation, the challenges can attack the leader by launching a larger product variety here, giving more bundle of offerings to the customers. So here, if we see many of the followers follow this strategy, this grabs the customers. Also, product innovation. The challenger thinks of coming up with the innovative products in the market. So here, the company should have a strong R&D department to find out the gaps. Now here, the intermediaries and the sales force plays a very important role in giving the feedback to this department, and based upon that R&D is carried out and they come up with some improved version of the parent product, or improved, so they can think of improving the services based upon the needs of the customers. A challenger might develop a new channel of distribution also. Now here, it depends upon the company which innovative channel it takes into consideration. Now, those companies, they succeeded initially when they opted the direct marketing. The company like Avon or a Tupperware, where the companies which grab the market share as well as increase their profitability by adapting the innovative distribution channel. Many of the companies can think of reducing the manufacturing costs as compared to the competitors. Through more efficient purchasing, the companies can have tie-ups with the suppliers, lower labor costs, or modern by adapting modern production equipments or techniques or technologies. They can think of lowering the cost. Also, intensive advertising promotion. Some challenges attack the leader by increasing expenditures on advertising and promotion on a very continuous basis. So here, this always poses a threat for the leader. Now here, a challenger rarely improves its market share by relying on only one strategy. So its success depends on combination of several strategies. When it thinks of mixing all of the strategies, one or the other strategy together, then only there is a possibility of improvement in the market share of a follower. Now the followers can imitate the product very easily. It becomes very much easier to copy from the leader. Now, whatever are the lacunas for the pioneer, if we see the followers, many of the followers, they have been successful. They are the late entrants, but they have achieved most of the market share and also the profits because they understand the loopholes in the product entered by a pioneer. Market follower must know how to hold current customers and win a fair share of new customers here. Now, the strategies we will discuss in the next session as far as this follow strategy and the nature strategies are considered. Today we will stop here. मला मेल पाठव झालं रामा बाबांनी लगेच मला मेल सुद्धा पाठव.